Thanks for having us here. Hopefully your day has gone pretty well. As you can see in the video, one of the things that we're trying to figure out and work through is an unquestionable demographic of the planet that's aging, an unquestionable demographic that's driving tremendous cost in governments and economies around the world, and an unquestioned set of things we have to do that, quite frankly, as an industry and as governments and as healthcare capabilities, we may not be stepping up hard enough and quick enough to really address those issues. So what I want to cover with you today is really to talk about how we're approaching these issues, and I think in a rather interesting way from an innovation point of view. As one of the data points on this, we know through Lord Darsley's report that this issue of aging, the cost of aging, is a huge issue in this country. We know, as I've traveled around the world in this industry, it's a huge issue around the planet, every geography, every country. As one data point I find interesting is when we were in China, they're in the early stages of actually building the first nursing homes, which is an unthinkable thought in that culture. The same thing is going on in India. So as we start thinking about how we deal with that demographic, we need to come at it in a very, very different way. So, innovation, in our view, this is a gentleman by the name of Bob Noyce, who's one of the Intel founders. Bob is also the creator and the patent holder on the integrated circuit. And our company's 40 years old now, and this is one of the ways that we run and think about our business every day. His basic premise is you cannot be encumbered by the past if you're actually going to create the future. And what that really means is you have to have the ability to imagine a different end state, imagine a different outcome, or you're going to be destined to incrementalism, which is one of the issues I think that's been going on in healthcare for quite some time. Now, you probably know Intel as a semiconductor company, and you know about all the things that we do in building products, super high performance, super high quality, and super high volume. What you may not know about us is that we've been very active in the healthcare space for quite some time. Now, you probably expect engineers, computer scientists, but people in my organization carry titles like doctor and nurse, a medical anthropologist, social scientist, anthropologist, and they're a critical part of how we actually start to think about this product. You know, one of the wonderful things when we started this business is how do you take a social scientist who studies people and let them work with a systems architect or a designer and develop a vocabulary where they can actually talk to each other and figure out how to build a system that enables an 82-year-old man who's never been near a computer to actually interface and do the things that we need to get done with them. So we've done that work, we've developed a vocabulary, and what I want to share with you today is some examples of the outcomes of that and what we've been doing. Now, there's a gentleman who works for me, his name is Eric Dishman. At Intel, the highest technical title you can have is fellow. Eric is a fellow, but he's notably the first fellow at Intel who's not a technical person. He's a social scientist. Because we have a strong belief you have to start with the people before you do anything in the technology. So I think the best way to really show you what we're doing in this space is I'm going to show you a video with Eric talking about what we call the 3 E's. So let's start with the video.